The Bad Batch episodes 7 and 8, we had a 2 episode drop because this is a really solid arc. I really enjoyed these episodes because they felt very classic toned Clone Wars. This reminded me of season 6, the episodes where uh, I forget which one it was. Oh, whatever clone it was had his inhibitor chip fire off early, right? And that whole arc about learning what the inhibitor chips were about. It felt very much in line with something like that. But this is one episode that really highlights something I've said for years. There are all these people out there who complain about Star Wars being too political, and they go, "Oh my gosh, Star Wars is so political now. It's woke." What they don't understand is Star Wars has always been political, and that, for example, the prequels were based around the conflict of Vietnam and America's involvement in Vietnam and how fucked up and bad that was. And this is furthering that idea because this is something set in the prequel era and about how we treat veterans. Because in this whole episode, we have a senator going up in front of a council meeting of people and having a debate about whether or not and how to treat the clones after their involvement in the war. They should be treated as war heroes, which is something that was a huge debate and still is a huge debate. But that's what I mean. Like when you talk about that conflict and those ideas, this is something Star Wars has always been, and that's what made these episodes really solid. This interesting conflict and idea of like, how do we treat the clones and the conflicts involved and everything. And they were really solid episodes with the really solid ideas to think about and leave after watching these episodes. And that's what I really loved about Clone Wars, and that's what I really loved about this episode of this show. And I enjoyed the Bad Batch stuff, but it does feel like sometimes that we're missing some of the best moments of Clone Wars with the Bad Batch because what you're dealing with is like goofier characters. I think the Batch are a little bit goofier, and they're able to do some of these fun, darker stories. But I still would rather just more Clone Wars than the Bad Batch. But I still like this show; it's still a good show. But I just think it's interesting how so many people misunderstand that Star Wars has always kind of been political. It had these ideas demonstrated within them, and it's not really any different here or in the past. But yeah, that's my thoughts on these episodes. Cannot wait for next week's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time.